Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. In 1942, in the cold desert of a small border town in Texas, a group of kind are kidnapped and mass embraced by members of the fanatical sect, the Sabbat. Out of this group, only a handful survived, and through rituals and mentorship they became the pack known as the Pale Riders. Representing the Sword of Cain, they are wielded by a mentor to cut deep wounds within the heartland of Mexico to the enemies of the Sabbat. Juarez on Fire is a Vampire the Masquerade Sabbat chronicle that follows the Pale Riders pack that consists of Mitch, a Lazombra played by Adam, Coyote, a Ravenous anti-tribute played by Alex, Eldrick, a Caitiff played by David, Jasper, a Bruja anti-tribute played by Joaquin, Cora, a Shimizi played by Slavic, and Richard, a Ventrue anti-tribute played by Tillman. If you'd like to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. We hope you enjoy.
Right, so you guys roll up in front of the Black Rooster. You see that there's like a swarm of people kind of, well, but it's towards the end. Like, it's still like obviously a place where people go, but it's kind of like at the edge of where like the flashy, you know what I mean? Like, come in, Americans, and drink here and everything and have a blast. This is kind of where like the alleys are a little darker and less welcoming. Well, not to your types, but to like mortals, you know what I mean? And where maybe like the front isn't as well painted as the other ones, or like the sidewalk in front is just swept, you know? And you kind of have where you, in the front there, you kind of see people through like dirty windows a little bit, but they're kind of sitting at tables, and you kind of see a bar. But that's just looking through the windows as you guys are getting out of your vehicle. Scene's on you. Go ahead.
I'm gonna, while we're driving to the Black Rooster, I'm gonna crack the window just a little bit because I don't want any of these street urchins getting close to me. But I'll be like, Jasper, do you smell that?
What?
It smells like progress. For years, my father and my grandfather, they clung to the family line of running cattle, but it was I who had the foresight to invest my fortune into oil, and it is that very substance that drives every single one of these vehicles that you see on the road. And there will be a day that there will no longer be these horses sharing the road with us. It will be these mechanical machines that drive us into the future.
So what you're trying to say, Eldridge, is you've never done an honest a day's work in your life.
Sister, please. It's not
I'm
fun.
just joking, Jasper.
Hardly, Coraline. I was raised in the family business. But I took my fortune, and after the Great War, I reinvested it into what I knew would become the future.
That's not what I call work. All right, we got a job to do. Let's go.
I'm sure what you would consider work had a lot to do with the kitchen.
Oh,
Don't start me. Boy, don't start me.
Let's go ahead and have you make a self-control roll. Cora, you can, don't forget the mighty WP, but you can't let that by, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the difficulty?
Let's do difficulty 4. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, okay.
Cool, difficulty 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
You made it.
Cool.
You're sitting there and he says that comment and you're just kind of like, and you see a little bit Elder, because I take it you're sitting across from her because you got one of those fancy rolls. You kind of see her tense a little bit. Can you feel a little victory in a way? Scenes back on you guys, Jasper. And by the way, I love shit like this. So if you guys want to do scenes like this, don't hesitate. But scenes back on you, Jasper, Cora, and Eldrick.
Eldris, I'm afraid to say, brother, you were out of line for that one.
Hardly.
Okay, brothers, it's time to get our job done. And as
you guys roll up,
I
go ahead,
really, when I close the doors, I do it really strongly.
You kind of hear the door slam a little bit. You actually kind of catch it, Mitch, as you get out of your truck and Coyote jumps out the back and kind of you notice the suspension on the truck is thankful that he's not in the back anymore. You see Caroline get out and just like slam the door loud as hell. You both, Coyote and Mitchell, notice that.
Mitchell just mumbled to himself, I should have rode a horse.
Yeah, and Eldritch will slowly exit the other side of the vehicle, placing his top hat on and using his cane to bear his weight.
What in the hell is that all about?
Oh, nothing, dear. Nothing. Just having a friendly little chat with Eldritch.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna link arms with old lady Caroline and, help her along.
Aren't you the gentleman?
Yeah, I like you. I don't say that, but it can look funny, this huge, semi-shirtless, 7-foot tall Mexican dude leading an old lady along the street.
Mitchell turned to Coyote. You got another one of them cigars?
I'll reach into a little pouch around my waist and pull out a fresh Cuban, sniff it slowly, draw the length of it across the bottom of my nose, and then pass it to you.
Thank you kindly.
Do you need a light?
Yes, I will. Mitchell bite off the end, spit it out, and stick it in his mouth.
I'll flip a big Zippo and light it up and pass it to you. I'm not lighting your cigarette for you, though.
All right. Mitchell sort of give him a sidelong, humorous glance, like, I could have made a bad joke. And then he'll just light it.
Oh, my.
And pass it back.
Okay, I'll light up my own one as well.
So,
See, here, it's not so bad, because there's all this bright shit around. We don't need to worry about people seeing this shit.
I'll just nod at you, blow a big cloud of smoke.
Mitchell size up the Black Rooster, look at, front windows, entranceway, does it have a bouncer, what kind of crowd is coming in and out?
So as you guys are standing in front of here, it's made of, obviously, of wood, but the wood looks to be weathered and older. It's not all flashy like the 40 minutes worth of bars that you had to drive through to get to kind of like where this is at. It has some dirty front windows, and it has like a double wooden doors that could be opened up, either way. And it has like glass squares in there. You can look through there, and as you look through there, you see there's probably like 5 people sitting at tables. 3 of the 5 people have like a companion with them, like sitting, like kind of standing by them or sitting in the chair. They look like really worn down, like prostitutes in a way, but not like the showy kind. We see a kind of an overweight Hispanic guy. He's sitting at the small one-man table that's to like the left of where the doors would open up. He's just kind of, you see him sitting there, and he has like a newspaper in front of him, and he's kind of spread out, and he has something like a glass of something there, and he's just kind of like hunched over, like looking like he's concentrating on the paper. And you see a figure behind the bar seems to be walking around, and you see 2 set of stairs, on the left and the right of the bar, to where like it looks like people can go upstairs to, you can only imagine, probably go with those women that are kind of by them right there. But it looks really oddly like just like not like the life of the party place. You know what I mean? It looks rather dark and depressing within there in a way, from what you get. Not a place you would have visited in your heyday, during the Great War.
Okay. All right, Mitch will take a deep breath, puff on the cigar, and shrug and stride right inside.
So the doors open up, and as the doors open up, you can kind of hear like record music kind of being played, but it's like mariachi music in a way, but it's very like not a clear quality, so it adds this eeriness to this, especially with like the acoustic guitars that are going and like the singing in Spanish. It's very like, doesn't bring joy that the music's supposed to bring, and it almost even adds another layer to this the gloom of this place. As you open up and come in, and I don't know if the rest of the group, are you guys following him or not?
I'm going to stand at walk through the door, but just stand next to the exit. And
okay.
Hold my arms.
Jasper will follow right behind Mitch.
And what about you, Eldrick? What did you say?
I'm going to stay at a distance behind them. So if they're just at the door, I'm not even going to enter.
Okay. And what about you, Cora?
Yeah, she'll go in,
So you 4 go in, kind of Eldrick's kind of staying outside a little bit just to kind of observe. You come in, you see the overweight Mexican guy like looks up, and he kind of has like this mustache that's not well trimmed at all, and he kind of has like rolls of like skin that are under his neck, like that looks like it hasn't been shaved in a couple days, and he has like his hair, he's losing his hair a little bit, kind of not a lot, but he looks like he hasn't shaved like on his neck, like it's almost like where but with how he has loose skin under his neck, that seems to be the mass of where the unshaven facial hair is at. And he's sweating, and he looks at you guys as you walk through and kind of walk past him. And then he looks at you, Coyote, as you're standing there by the door.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and he speaks in Spanish to you, and he's like, "Hello."
I'll ignore him. I
Like,
won't even reply. I'll just stare at him.
he kind of just looks, and then he kind of looks that back down to his paper, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And you see the bartender as you come across. You see this like kind of like homely looking like lady. She's Hispanic too, and she kind of has like bags under her eyes that are kind of like yellowish, like bluish, not like bruises, but like from like a rough life. And she's kind of like, you really can't tell the form of her body because it looks like she's not even trying to upkeep herself at all. And she looks up at you and she says in Spanish, she's like, "Hey, what can I help you guys with?"
Mitchell look at her. He'll size her up, and he'll very slowly respond in Spanish. "I'm looking for a man named Marcos. You hear of him?"
And you see her look, and she kind of takes a glass, and she's like, "Yeah, I know Marcos. What do you need to speak to him about?" And you see she kind of like puts like, she sees the three of you guys walking up and puts 3 glasses out.
"Need to have a conversation with him. We're looking for a man. He might know him."
See, I can understand that. She's like, and she looks, and as you guys are looking, and you look around, like while Mitchell's talking, Cora and Jasper, you look around at the people who are within there, and you see like you notice that every guy in there, or most likely is American, Caucasian, you know, and you see the women though that are with them. You see one guy walking upstairs with the women. They look wholly deflated of life, meaning like they're just like husks of who they can really be. These aren't women who charm you and try to, you know what I mean? These are women that look like that. They're just like going through just going through the movements of life, you know, that they're just husks of what you're probably more humane than they are at this moment, you know. She's like, "Yeah, I can make sure I can get them. If you can wait a moment, I can try reaching them, okay?"
"Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
She's like, "You want a drink?"
Maybe when Marcos gets here. I'm good with my cigar for right now."
And then you see her walk behind the bar, and she's gone for about 20 minutes. I want you guys all to give me a perception and alertness roll, difficulty 6, if you would, please. And tell me, except for you, are you still outside, Eldrick?
I'll move inside after they've been in there for more than 5 minutes.
Okay. And you see them sitting all along the bar. Yeah, everyone give me a perception and alertness roll, difficulty 6. Well, you all got successes, right? You all hear this weird, like, it's like a screaming, like a thud, and then like a screaming, and then like a thud. And then whoever got the 3 successes, who got Jasper, you hear, "Shut the fuck up, goddamn dirty, shut the fuck up." And you hear like you know what I mean? Like someone like beating the shit out of some chick upstairs, you know what I mean? And kind of like a slow sobbing. And then like a couple seconds after that, you hear like the squeaking of like a bad mattress in the bed, especially in the wood of this floor. You just kind of like, and it almost like starts getting under your skin in a way. Not I don't know about the act happening, but just the constant, and you're sitting in this bar and you hear like this mariachi, this eerie mariachi music, and then you hear like the heat is like, and then you're like the fat guy sitting there reading his newspaper, slowly turning the page, and it's like this it's a monotony of annoyance that seems to be that you're stuck there.
Jasper would just basically just look around, just take it all in, just like degenerates.
As you guys are sitting there, you hear noise in the background, like behind the bar. And you see the chick come out, and you see a figure walking behind her. And he's kind of a taller, gaunt-looking Hispanic. I want everyone to give me intelligence and academics roll. Difficulty 6, please. And tell me who got the most. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Is this regarding book knowledge?
It's difficulty 6. I have 3 successes.
And I wouldn't say it's book.
1, 2,
I would say it's
3,
more
4.
common knowledge. Yeah, 4.
Okay.
Everyone who got a success, you kind of realize that this guy isn't of Mexican background. The guys who got 3 and 4 successes, Eldrick and Jasper, you realize this is more of a South American. If you were to guess, you know, like from the continent of South America than North American. But he comes walking in, and he's wearing like a kind of a cream-colored suit, has a nice tie to it, kind of cut almost like a zoot suit in a way, but more of like, you know, the kind of a hip, but yet still kind of formal style that you saw back then. Sees him, he's kind of like taking a handkerchief and patting his forehead a little bit. And he comes up to you, and he's like, "Oh, I see you're looking for Marcos. Hello. He extends his hand and he extends it to Mitch. I heard you're the gentleman looking for Marcos.
That's right. Mitch will stand up
Hey.
and extend his hand back, shaking it, very firm grip.
Yeah, my name is Caesar. How goes it? And he's speaking English, but you can tell he's kind of like, English is definitely a second language.
In Spanish, I will respond, I'm doing quite well, thank you. How can you put us into touch with Marcos?
Yes. Yeah, I can actually, we can do that probably in a couple hours if that's okay with you. He's like, Marcos is, he's a family member of mine. He's like, he has a hacienda that is outside the city limits here, and I could take you to him if that's okay with you.
I don't desire to be in this establishment one moment longer than I absolutely have to.
I agree.
Why you're requesting his visit.
He might know a man that we're looking for, and we need to talk to him about that.
And you see Caesar's eyes open, like kind of like a little, like, you know what I mean? Oh, okay, indeed. Yes. Matter of fact, you know what? I think you could see him sooner, if you would like.
That would be much appreciated.
Would you like to follow me in my automobile?
Yes, that will work.
Yes, and I'm sorry for the wait. I apologize. And you notice his demeanor goes from like, hey, politician, my name's Caesar, to like, oh shit, I'm sorry. As soon as you mentioned you guys are looking for a man.
That's quite all right, Mr. Caesar. Out of curiosity, are there mirrors anywhere in the bar?
Oh yeah, there is. There's like one behind the bartender and everything like that.
I will look at the mirror and notice my lack of reflection and chuckle a little.
You see, like, Caesar looks at you and kind of looks behind, and then looks at you, and he like nods his head. He's like, "Yes, sir. Please, if you could follow me."
I'll step forward and just say to Caesar, "I'm going to ride with you." Like, that's all I'll say. Kind of almost to intimidate him a little bit.
Of course you can. Yes, fine. Yes, you can ride with me. I have no problem.
If you really
with
want to be intimidating to him, why don't you smile?
You can see. You'll see I have a Ford Seville. It's a cream colored model, and you'll see it roll up in front. And me and your friend here will be in the back. I'll make sure my driver motions to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
And he motions for you, Coyote, to follow him. As you follow him, Coyote, and you go behind like the bar, out in the back, like you go to the back, and you're like, what the fuck? And you see like mattresses of like where you think these chicks maybe like stay. That's where they stay, and it just like it smells like body odor, and you see a kind of a pail they probably use at night, and you see or use when they're asleep there, and you see him walk past all that, and he goes out the back door. And then you're kind of greeted by the coolness of the night. I mean, it's a little hot, but it's a lot less muggy than it was in the establishment. And you see that there's his vehicle there, and he has a driver there. And you see him open up the door. He's like, after you, sir. And the driver gets out, opens the door, and he motions towards you, Coyote. After you, sir.
I'll stoop down and get into the car.
As the car rolls around to the front, you guys are in your respective vehicles, and you see the car there.
Yeah, but before Jesper leaves, he goes turns around to look at the bar and say, like, ladies and gentlemen, this place reeks of death. I recommend that you find someplace else for the betterment of your future. Good night.
And you see, as you walk past, you hear the fat guy, as you're walking past, Jasper say, "Pendejo."
So, pardon me, what? I just like smile, like what?
Shut the fuck up. He says in English, like a piss poor version of English. Can I get a self-control roll?
What did you say to him?
Self-control what?
A self-control roll. What's the Bruja curse? It's like +2 difficulty.
+2.
Yeah, so difficulty 6. Yeah, the frenzy.
All right. Oh
wow. So you sit there, and when he says "shut the fuck up," you like sit there, Jasper, and you almost lost your civility, which would have been, but you're like, and you kind of just like sit there and you clench a little bit, and he's sitting there looking at you, and you see like he sees you a little bit, and he's like, "Oh shit, man! Like maybe I shouldn't have opened my mouth." And he's like just looking at you right now, like this is odd, like this odd tension right now, like an awkward moment. And Coraline just says, "What did you just say?" And he's like, looks at Coraline, and he looks back at you, and he's like, "Oh, nothing, ma'am. I said nothing, ma'am."
No.
And he goes back to like,
come here.
And he's like sitting at the table, and he's looking at you, ma'am. He's like, "I don't want no trouble, ma'am."
I'll go walk up to him, and just sort of sit down there and take his hand in my hand and come on, repeat it. Go on.
And Mitch, as you guys are like outside, you're like, where the fuck are these two? You could turn around, you see like Jasper looking at the guy, and you see Coraline. Like you other two, Eldrick and Mitch, see this. It's kind of like patting his hand. He's like, oh no, ma'am, I said, I hope you guys have a good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mitch will get up from the bar,
Okay,
tap some ash off of his cigar, and in Spanish, cowardly fucking cunt.
And you see, like, all of a sudden he's like sitting there looking. Now he has three people, and some chick patting his hand, and he's like, I don't want no trouble, sir. I'm sorry, I don't want no trouble.
Okay. So, okay. As I'm leaving, I'm gonna just sort of craft his fingers together, just quick and dirty flesh crafting. Just
so you sit there and you like put his hands together, and you see for a second the guy doesn't even realize because he's so like overwhelmed. And then you let go of his hand, and he's like looking at his hand, and he's like trying to move it, and he like looks up panicked, and Jasper and Mitch are just still standing there looking at him, and he's like taking his hand, and you see almost like he's like shocked. He's almost like in shock. He's like looking, and he's almost like trying to like show you guys his hand, but he can't form the words because he can't comprehend what he's even looking at between you two. But somehow it's almost like he thinks since you're with her and you're there, you might have the answer to make shit normal again, to back before he opened his mouth.
Let's go, brother. The guilty will be punished.
All right, I'm glad we settled this. We settled this matter peacefully. Have a great night.
And as you guys walk out, you just all of a sudden hear this like screaming at the top of the lungs as you guys are getting in the car. You hear that, Eldrick, as you're like sitting in your roll. Cora gets in and Jasper gets in.
Can't take these people anywhere.
As you guys are following this cream-colored vehicle for about another half hour, you start hitting these dirt roads. You're sitting there, Coyote,
yeah,
and you see the guy. He's sitting there like this, like, and you guys are sitting across from each other because this Ford is the same way as the Rolls. But you're like taking up a lot of the space, so he's kind of like sitting there with his arms and legs together. And
I'll tell you what else to do. I put a big fat cigar in my mouth, light it up, blow a big puff of smoke in his face, and be like, "Yeah, mind if I smoke in here, dude?"
Not at all, sir. Not at all. And you can see him kind of like reaching, and he's like rolling down one of the windows a little bit to get that smoke out.
I'll look out the window and puff away.
So you guys are start rolling along. Of course, the suspension of these vehicles aren't what we know as suspension nowadays, and so you're kind of coming along a dirt road. And as you guys are looking out the windows, you see that you're coming along a road. The road starts being surrounded on both sides by citrus trees, like lemons or oranges or whatever, as you're driving along. So it kind of like in a way blocks out the moon and the stars a little bit as you guys keep going. And eventually you start seeing where you come across like this intricate gate at the end of this road. And as you guys get to the end of the road, you see one guy standing there, and he's kind of dressed like in a farmer's outfit that is kind of known around the area. He looks to be like an older Hispanic guy, and he has like a loose, like kind of like the baggy caps he used to wear like at the time on top of his head. And he opens the door, and he has, it looks like a rifle that's slung over his side, and he kind of opens it, and he looks, and as you guys are driving behind the vehicle, you can kind of see him just looking. You guys come up, and it becomes cobblestone road as you pass the gate, and you see like there's this nice manicured grass with like this fountain that's kind of in the front, and this cobblestone comes up upon this beautiful adobe, but it's kind of a tanner color. And this house looks to be rather large, something that like Eldrick may have like looked at as like a nice summer home. It's definitely something that has like, like 5 or 6 rooms. You see there's a lot of like kind of plants in the front, big double oak doors in the walkway there. And as the car rolls up, you see Coyote, you see Caesar. He kind of like looks at you, smiles, and kind of gets up and opens the door, and he comes out and he's like, "After you, sir." And as he motions for you, Coyote.
Mm-hmm. I'll lower my head so I don't hit it on the door frame and slowly get out. I'll pass him my cigarette, my cigar, which is down to the last little bit. I'll just hand it to him, be like, "Thanks," and start walking off.
As you see, there's a figure standing in front of the double doors. He's wearing like a darker suit, not as like fashionable as the one that Caesar had, but he is also kind of slender, has combed over black hair, like a really nice cut black hair. But he also looks to be more South American than North American. And he's as he looks there, he's waiting for you guys to come out of the car. And you see he walks forward to Coyote, and he's like, "Hey, hello." He's like, "My name is Anthony." He's like, "Are these your companions? Are you the leader of the group?"
I'll just spit at the ground and walk past him.
And he looks for as you guys are getting out, and he's trying to kind of, you can tell he's looking for who to speak to, who represents the group as you guys are getting out of the vehicles.
Mitch will pull up last, and he'll get out of the truck as slow as his old bones will allow him.
He's like, "Can I speak to who represents your group, sir? Please."
Yeah. What do you need? Mitch is still got a cigar in his mouth.
"Oh, my name is Anthony. My brother is Marcos. I'm here to welcome you and bring you in so you could speak to him."
Pleasure to meet you, Anthony. I look forward to speaking to your brother.
Thank you. And he follows. If you guys wouldn't mind following me, please. As you guys are walking in, you kind of see there's two other guards who kind of like are walking the yards. So there's like about 3 guards that are like kind of in the courtyard out front, which you guys kind of figure would be normal for, especially living in Mexico or along the border. Some of these people have a hard time letting go of their memories of being robbed, ranchers being robbed and stuff like that by bandits. But as you guys come in, he opens the double door. You hear the double doors open up, and you see this awesome tile that walks in that has that southwestern feel to it. You know what I mean? Where it's almost like each tile is hand painted by someone that was put on this floor that you're stepping on. As you walk on, you see like vases on the side that look like to be they're made of like a brownish clay with decorative, and you see like expensive paintings on the wall. And this is just you walking in like the entranceway, and like which is a circular entranceway. And you see that there's like a couch there where people, like someone could sit while they're waiting. And you see, if you would follow me, if you wouldn't mind coming to Marcos's study. And he kind of veers around in this circle and makes a right to where like there's some double wooden doors. And he goes and he opens up the double wooden doors, and you can smell as when he opens the door, like the smell of mahogany, and like leather and like older books. And you can also smell like almost like a layer of like dust that you can never get rid of in the Southwest that you guys are very familiar with. But also you can smell flowers. You can smell like a lot of fragrances to try to hide that dust. But when it comes open, you can also smell the smell of burning wood, of like a fireplace. You could hear it crackling a little bit. And as you step in, you see that there's like 2 couches and a bunch of chairs, like almost like there's like a lot of meetings that happen here at times, you know what I mean, where people could sit there. And you see wall-to-wall bookshelves on one side. You even see a ladder that kind of goes up where like, someone might have to crawl or climb up to get to a certain book. You see a big intricate desk there, and you see a xylophone that's playing music there. Is that a xylophone, the big like record players that kind of have like the big horn attached to them?
Gramophone.
And you hear that is playing like a nice background soothing, you know what I mean, show music in a way. And you sit there and you see 3 figures. You see one, she's this beautiful lady. She has almost like olive colored skin, but almost like a paler version of it, to where not quite has that olive color, but at one point it may have. Beautiful Mediterranean eyes, has like gray hair that seems to be cut in like a wave that's fashionable maybe like 60 years ago. She has a nice gray dress on that's sleeveless. Her body looks toned, especially a toning that you don't often see from women of this age and prior, where usually more voluptuous women were kind of looked at as more attractiveness. You see her sitting there, and you see right next to her, immediate to her right, there's a guy wearing like a dark navy blue black suit, has a very nice starched white shirt with a tie that matches like a grayish tie. And he's sitting there, and he has a crew cut gray hair, has a very thick top lip mustache on top. Kind of looks athletic in a way too, but definitely Caucasian, not as Mediterranean as the lady who's sitting to his right. And then you see a figure across from them with this little like round table, like a little round foot table between them, who's looking at you guys. And he is this South American looking gentleman who has like, you're so used to seeing like Caesar and Anthony, who are very like distinguished, kind of like look like Jasper, like someone, if they weren't Hispanic, you could respect, like cultured in a way. But you look at this guy, he looks like that suit does not even cover that this guy is not cultured in the slightest. he has these like bags under his eyes and these jowls, and he has like black hair, but it's not like kept in any way. It's short, but it seems rather like sporadic, like he was wearing a baseball hat. How people wear baseball hats, but he has like this nice suit on, and he kind of you look at him and you just like get he has like this very wispy handlebar mustache that doesn't look like it grew in full, and you get this like this sense of disgust from him when you look at him, like not like he's ugly, but just like he looks like a creep. When he's looking at you there. And he's slightly overweight too as he's sitting there in the chair. And he stands up and he's like, "So, you're looking to speak with me?" He's like, "You know my name, but unfortunately I'm not aware of yours."
Mitch will walk up, take a puff on the cigar, remove it from his mouth. "My name is Mitch." He'll extend his hand. "It's a pleasure to meet you."
And he extends it. "It is nice to meet you, Mitchell. I am Marcos." And he's like, "And this is your group here with you?" And he kind of respectfully like nods towards you guys.
"Yes, introductions. That's Coraline. That's
Hello.
Jasper. That's Coyote. That's
And I'll introduce myself as Mr. Hyde.
Don't mind him.
Oh,
He puts on airs."
I've got my back
Please
to
have
group.
a-
I'm admiring the decorations on the wall, but I'll look over my shoulder when I hear my name.
"I'd like to meet you some visitors that we have." And he's like, "This is Rita Giovanni and a Roman Dunstern. They are both visiting our great land here,
No.
so we could talk business." and you see the lady like nod to him, and you see Roman just kind of like nods too, and he's like, "Please have a seat." And he like snaps his finger, and you see like the servant come, and they're like moving chairs closer so you guys could sit. He's like, "Please have a seat. Let's talk business."
When he introduces Rita and Roman, Mitchell nod his head. "Ma'am, sir."
She's like, "Thank you," and he's like, "Thank you very much." He's like, and you see him unbutton his button as he sits back and he crosses his legs.
Hyde will continue to stand, resting his weight on his cane.
"Can I offer you guys some refreshments?"
"I'd be honored if you'd be so inclined." Mitch will take a seat as he says this.
And you see he snaps at the servant again, and he motions, and you see as the servant walks in, then all of a sudden you hear like a jangling of like chains, and you see like two servants come out and they're pulling these chains, and you see like these Americans, they're like all wide-eyed and they're naked, and they got like their wrists are like tied together, and like they have like these things around their necks like collars. They're kind of like being drug in, and there's about 5 of them. They're all males, and they look like they're about younger than 20. And you see one's like crying horribly, and he's like, "What the fuck, man?" And then he's like all looking at him. He's like, "Please take your choice."
"What is it? Some kind of bachelor party?"
A lot of people come to Juarez looking for fun, and oftentimes they get lost in doing it. And it benefits our kind a lot.
I think I'll grab a bite if it's okay.
What? You see them stand there, like 3 of them, their minds have snapped already. One's like still babbling, like, "What the fuck, man?" The other's just like, you see he's like right at that moment where he's like just about to go catonic and just be like, check out mentally,
Mitch will stand up. He'll walk over. He'll eyeball them all, step in front of the one that's crying the most, grab him by the hair, and just sink his fangs in with no remorse, no ceremony, and take 1 blood point off.
What is Mitch's humanity right now?
6.
So you go ahead and take 1. What about you, Corlane?
Yeah, she'll walk up to one of them, take his arm, expose the veins, and just snap it between her teeth and, take a blood point off.
Cool. And what's your humanity? I can't imagine it being that
5.
high right now. 5, yeah, you're good. All right, as you see these 2 take a blood point, then you see the guy drags them off again, the servant, and they just kind of like numbly are fucking following along there. He's like, "Now we could talk about business. So what brings you here?"
"We're looking for a man, and we hear that you may know how to get into him. We hear you might know where to find him."
Yes, we do. We have an idea of where he's at. We believe that for one reason or another, the Camarilla, some representatives of them are hiding him here. We are very well aware of who you represent. We were told that you'd probably be coming here speaking to us when we gave the information out to go back to him.
This is Roman that's speaking?
Roman and Rita are just sitting there like observing all of this.
Camarilla, huh? That might be problematic.
That's a small element. A lot of people are under the misconception that the Camarilla doesn't come here ever, but they come here. they come here oftentimes to prevent that masquerade of theirs that they like to so uphold. I can see the worth of it, I suppose, but they come here often because they find that bodies that disappear often aren't looked for, if you catch my drift. And he kind of mentions towards the doors where the group had came out of and came back in. He's like, we believe we know that they are in the process of transferring this individual that you're looking for. We don't know why they are. We don't know what they hope to gain from it. But we can only imagine that your group we're pretty rabid about wiping them off the face of this earth of ours. So maybe they're making deals to help protect them. That's my only guess right now. But before we can even get to me telling you where you guys are at, there's something that me and my associates would require of you, if you can make it happen.
And what might that be?
Well, are you aware of the politics of the control of Cainites and kindred here as it stands in Juarez?
I understand that you and the anarchs are roughly toe-to-toe in this town.
And we feel if an unfortunate raid of members of your sect were to happen and the anarchs leader would unfortunately experience final death, our strength in this city would even become stronger. And in that, maybe you'd find out where this creature you're looking for resides.
In that, maybe we go and execute the leader of the group that is giving you trouble. You might tell us where this person's located at?
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.